who is there one sort of a character, one content creator, someone who actually gives rise in you these contradictory feelings where you might like them a lot while not agreeing with the kind of content that they produce?
So I think the one person that came to my mind when you were talking about Shan Prashar, even though I have to go check him out, is somebody who came into the limelight recently. Like Veer Das is, if laughter is the best medicine, then Veer Das is now big pharma, right? Winning Emmy awards, writing books, coming
back. What did he win the award for?
For the best comedic series for his special on Netflix.
I don't think I watched it.
Of course,
though.
like the more the FIRs. You haven't watched it? I think you should check it out. Because, like you said, Veer Das, I love to hate him. I love to hate Veer Das.
You love to hate him?
Yes, I will spend money on him. I will spend time watching his specials. But I love to hate him because he delivers punchlines. He delivers punches. I love that about him. He is social commentary as much as political satire, as much as like you're watching a Veer Das special and you're like laughing. Then you're uncomfortably squirming because it's like, oh, he's talking about India and Indians in such a way that's making me uncomfortable. And then you're laughing at yourself. And then again, you're uncomfortable because you're like, oh, he's hitting too close to the mark. And am I a part of the problem he's describing? So makes a wide range of emotions, feel 1,000 emotions at once while watching a Veer Das special. But I love to hate him because I think it somehow panders to the Western audience. And it's like slam brown people in front of white people. In what white people want to hear to generate laughs. So it's like, is Veer Das giving the Western audience what they want by slamming brown people and our stereotypes in front of them?
And you think he is?
So it's like you going to any party, right? And how frustrated have you been being a person from India being asked about arranged marriages? Right? It's like the stereotypical question that will come to you. And Veer Das does exactly that.
But then he's cliched, no?
So the fact that he's trying to change society by, life is full of cliches, right? Stereotypes exist because they are true. So Veer Das kind of delivers them while thinking you're not as smart or enlightened as him. So he comes across a little bit patronizing in that. And also, highlighting for the world to see what they want to see about you, right? So think about his two Indias.
That I remember. The
more the FIRs, the better for a comedian, right? But
eventually, not maybe in the moment, but eventually.
Are you inciting that sort of rage? India is a land of contradictions, but it can be full of happy contradictions as well, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the worst that we believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
So when I think of that To India monologue that he delivered, it was in the US, right?
Correct.
It did resonate with me. I will not deny that.
Right.
I think it did come across as pretty strong. And I think I remember seeing one of his interviews where he said that it was like an impromptu thing where he came up with that script like a couple of hours before the show or something.
Probably, or that was a made-up story in hindsight, but probably true. But yeah,
in which case it is very impressive.
He planned to deliver the poem he'd written about two Indias, and he did it in an impromptu fashion at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah. But here's like, if I now sit and dissect it, right? So this is like maybe like finding chinks in the armor, right?
Right.
But if you think that there was an audience there that would have turned up to listen to comic, light-hearted stuff from him, right? Or maybe he already had that reputation of passing on social commentary with his jokes. So maybe people were prepared for it. I don't know, right? But I'm still assuming that maybe there were some people in the audience who don't subscribe to that worldview that he has, where they do not agree to that contradiction that India is, as per his monologue, right? Which I do. But there could be people who don't subscribe to that worldview, in which case I don't think they would have really enjoyed it.
Right.
Let's look at the other group, which might have subscribed to that worldview, might have actually found it too obvious. No, like, of course, we know that this happens. We know there is this India that does this, and there is this India that does this, because most of the folks have grown up in India. I think most of the guys and girls who were there in that room would have been people who have grown up in India,
roots in India,
and are now in the US. And we've always seen this, even if you're living in this high-rise apartment, there is this slum next to you, right? The people that come and do chores in your house are people from a very different economic strata.
Right.
So we've all grown up in that sort of contradiction. So I feel like a lot of people would have thought that this is too obvious, and therefore, do we need someone like Veerdas, who we have come to hear paying so much amount of money? Did we need to hear this from him?
So why did he need to point it out and be preaching? But it comes back to your topic of, does content have to be balanced, or does it need to incite you into something, right? Like, is it a more balanced view? Because India as a land of contradictions. Let me give you an example. You and I grew up in the middle class strata in India. And he says, we bleed blue when blue is playing green and winning. But we bleed orange when suddenly green beats blue, right? Talking about Pakistan beating India, and then suddenly we are bleeding orange.
Which means that we become what? Patriot? No.
We become excessively patriotic, violent, unhappy, and angry. We can't take defeat.
Okay.
Which I don't think is very balanced. I'm not shattering my TV screen every time Pakistan wins a match against India.
Yeah.
But it is, again, who wants to listen to balanced views about India when you can make Indians in the audience, fill with rage on the fact that India, has its issues, or think the worst about themselves by a comedian who wants to change society.
So you're basically saying that even though all of us are not new to this contradiction, the fact that he made it so visceral, the fact that he made those contradictions maybe to a certain extent slightly exaggerated, like that example of blue, green, orange, just drove home the point and had the right impact, or had the impact that it did, because there was a lot of reaction to it, right? I mean, the FIRs and stuff, and
absolutely,
eventually I'm sure it would have also benefited him in some way.
हाँ, नाम तो तभी होता है जब आप बदनाम हो रहे हो. So I think comedians now wear it like a badge of honor. But I do think comedy drives change. Comedy drives awareness.
You think it does?
I really think it does.
I haven't seen a lot of his comedy specials, right? Yeah. So maybe I'm just reacting to the few shots that I have seen and that I can remember now. But there's at least a couple of videos of him I've seen where he seems to be blaming the audience for the ills or the evils that he is putting forward, right? So, for instance, I think there was like one shot of him I saw where he was showing his middle finger to the audience, saying that you guys are the problem, you guys left India and you are the traitors, something like that, right? Why would you make the very people who have come paid for your tickets, why would you make them feel like they are part of a problem? I don't think that lands well. Maybe it did, I don't know, but I would find it hard to imagine that such sort of thing lands well with the audience.
Yeah, I think everybody craves attention, and roasting the audience kind of puts the spotlight on you. This whole genre of live comedy and all the comedians doing what do they call that impromptu crowd work? Crowd work, right? People don't mind a little bit of
being roasted,
being roasted or insulted to be in the spotlight. But Veerdas blaming the diaspora seems to be a favorite topic of his.
Again, he seems to be having something against the diaspora, right? He feels like we've not done, like people like you and me or like others have not done the right thing by not living in the country that we call our home country.
Yeah.
Is that fair? I don't think it's fair.
I mean, we've built our life, our community away from the country. In a way, also built the country by being all over the globe. So I do think that our contributions are made light of. But again, I could be sounding very, on the other side of the table. I don't get it. Like, are comedians allowed to do more shows in the US because they get paid much more for a show and take advantage of the fact that you, the diaspora, is paying them much more than they would do by doing Indian shows? Show your patriotism by just doing Indian shows then.
That is true. So that is a point that I would completely agree with. That it is, I think it reeks of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
If you are willing to travel to a different country and earn money by doing shows there, but yet you blame the people who've sort of come to watch your show by saying that, hey, you guys are not doing the right thing.
Does it make you feel like a case of sour grapes? Not only for Veer Das, he's probably made it big, but
I think he actually studied in the US. He might have actually gone back to India of his own volition, for all you know.
Probably.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's sour grapes, but there is, I'm sure, like somewhere maybe he has a deep sense of either hurt or resentment, and it could be a reaction to just something he might have seen or heard or faced while he was in the US. I don't know where that comes from, but I think it does show in the aggression that he seems to show to his audience, right?
Yeah.
That actually I find a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, be patronizing to me, insult me, and I will still love to hate you and come back for more.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's a little bit sadistic, no? On the part of the audience.
The audience? I don't think I would go back for more.
I keep going back for more. But I think I go back for the writing as much as I don't respect the artist, but I respect the art.
But by the way, I do respect Veer Das. I feel like, first of all, for his age, I think he looks really good. He's got great hair.
Okay,
I don't know what he does.
That's important. That's definitely important.
But also, aside from that, my earliest memory of Veer Das is, I think he used to do this comedy show in a news channel where he used to either talk about the news with a funny spin or do something else, but he was in one of these news channels back in the day.
Yeah, I think he's come to the spotlight now, but he's been working more than a decade in the...
And he's a total outsider, right? He's not.
Total
he's
outsider.
Not from any related, connected
Affluent family. I think.
Affluent is fine, but he's not from a connected family.
Yeah,
right?
no nepotism there.
Yeah. So, I mean, that I think deserves a lot of respect, right? Yeah. You got to respect someone who starts from the scratch, comes in as an outsider, works in these TV shows, whatever, does a few gigs here and there. He's also acted in some movies. Right. I'm not a big fan of his acting.
He's coming back with a Bollywood comeback, Amir Khan production, Happy Patel.
Oh, really?
So becoming famous by, patronizing your audiences does work. Probably we should do a segment of insulting our audiences.
Insulting which audience? Well, for that, I need to gain an audience first.
Yeah, gain and then, I think we need to become, maybe that's the way to be famous, no?
Yeah. But so I do respect him for what I think he's done. I think you have to, for the hair, I'm sure he's taken very good care of it, right? Outside of whatever role genetics might have had to play.
Turkey. Sorry. I was saying probably,
bless you.
Probably Turkey.
Right.
I don't know for sure.
I feel like I can figure out when it's when there's a Turkey involvement, with the hairline, etc. I think his looks fairly natural, so I'm sure he's taken very good care of it.
Das, yeah.
No, I'm just saying that I do respect him for what he has become. It's not easy to kind of stand out and become successful, right? And hold such massive audiences. And as you said, he's also won the Emmys. I'm sure that doesn't come easy. He also hosted the Emmys. That reminds me, one thing that I didn't like was there was this line when he was hosting the Emmys where he said, I speak with an Indian accent.
Right.
And something like, if you don't understand what I'm saying, go ask your managers or something like that. However, that was so presumptuous. Like, first of all, I don't think anyone has an Indian boss outside of tech. Of very few.
Probably talking to technology executives only. Yeah.
But he was at the Emmys. He was talking to people who are in the entertainment space, I guess, mainly.
Yeah.
But it was very.
There's a lot of anger.
It's there's some sense of hurt that he has, or some sort of an inferiority complex, maybe.
Probably.
And he feels this need to kind of keep showing that like Indians are everywhere, and you guys better listen to us. So I don't really necessarily agree with that. Is that the way to get
India back on the world stage, perhaps?
No, of course
like
not.
You're not paying attention enough.
Words will not get anything back on the world stage. I think, you need to do it via some very long-term strategic actions.
But do you think he's a good representative of India?
Well, I think he's very well spoken. He's very polished. He certainly gives the Western audience a window to India
that's true.
Probably no one else does, right?
Nobody else has the platform.
At least in the comedy circle, yeah, or in the entertainment circle. So I think people like Shah Rukh Khan, Veer Das, these guys, Priyanka Chopra, obviously, right? So they present a face of India that's very polished, that's very well. That's very well spoken, very well educated, confident, very educated, right? And also very skilled and entertaining.
No Slumdog Millionaire kind of stereotypes.
Exactly, yeah. So they do break those stereotypes. I think for that we must give him credit.
Right.
Yeah. Even though it seems like you and I don't agree on some of the things that he does.
Yeah. When is his next show? I'm going to buy the ticket though.
I don't know if I want to be insulted in a group. I'm okay being singled out.
Right.
And be made fun of. Like we went to what's his name?
Gaurav
Kapoor's show, where he almost came close to speaking with one of us in the group. But I'm okay with that because it's done in a very non-judgmental manner. I think the problem with the way Veer Das interacts and engages is there seems to be some sort of judgment there, which no one wants. Like you get judged in your work, in your relationships, everywhere in your life. You don't want to go be part of something where you get judged either individually or in a group.
Right.
Yeah. Probably.